So, good day everyone. I am Adele Del Castillo together with my groupmates Jane Aurit, Rosemary Imperial, and Dailene S. Paraiso. We are going to present to you the part 2 of our research, which is entitled HDPE, High Density Polyethylene Recyclable Plastic as an Alternative Raw Materials for Buttons. So, the objectives of this presentation is to be able to present to you the significance of the study, to be able to discuss the scope and limitation, and to be able to present the definition of terms and review on related literature. The significance of the study. The results of this study will benefit various identities in our society. To mention, first is the students. This study enhances knowledge about recycling. This will help the students gain more ideas in turning HDPE plastics to new objects. Next one is the school. This study will help the school by suggesting of plas- um, waste of plastic waste management and also reuse of recyclable and recycle HDPE plastics. Next is community. This study spreads awareness on the current plastic waste problem. Discourse how versatile HDPE plastics are. Then next is the garments industry. This study will provide valuable information for the garments industry to promote programs and advocacies on how to develop essential garment-related products from a more sustainable raw material. Next is recycling advocates. Through this study, recycling advocates will get valuable information to further their campaign on spreading awareness on recycling plastic waste. And the last one is other researchers. This can be a help to other researchers for them to use this study as a reference in conducting similar studies. To present to you the scope and limitation, let me call Miss Rosemary Imperial.
Scope and limitation. The intent of this study is to assess the compatibility and acceptability of PDE plastic as a raw material for buttons. This focuses on the variable HDPE plastics and buttons. The study considers the information of the 50 respondents, such as their age and years of experience in the garments industry. This will be conducted with incivicity. Definition of terms. Acceptability, the characteristic of a thing being subject to acceptance for a specific purpose. Buttons, intended as a closure for a garment like polo, blouse, suit, and etc. It can also serve as decorative ornament to a garment. Compatibility, a state in which two things are able to exist or occur together without problems or conflict. Dressmaker, a person who makes clothes for women. Fashion designer, a fashion designer creates clothing including dresses, suits, pants, and skirts, and accessories like shoes and handbags for consumers. Garments industry. This industry is in charge in manufacturing items of clothing. HDPE, high density polyethylene in one of the most versatile plastic materials. It could be a form of plastic bottles, milk jugs, shampoo, bottles, bleach bottles, cutting boards, and piping. Plastic are synthetic or semi-synthetic materials that use polymers as main ingredient. These are moldable into solid objects of various shapes. Plastic waste has been the accumulation of plastic particles or plastic bottles and much more in the Earth's environment that negatively affects wildlife, habitat for wildlife, and humans. Raw material, basic material for a product, then recycling, the process of collecting and transforming plastic into other useful objects to avoid plastic pollution in the community. Sustainability, meeting the needs of the present without compromising the needs of future generations to meet their needs. Tailor, a person who makes clothes such as suits and pants and jackets.
For the review of related literature, let me call Miss Dailin Esperanza.
Review of related literature, HD Plastic and Environment. Plastic waste is generated at a rate of about 400 million tons per year. The amount of plastic that accumulates in the environment is increasing rapidly, but knowledge of its sustainability is very limited. High density polyethylene, or HDPE, SSDRS specific surface degradation rate in marine environments range from virtually 0 to about 11 years. Using the average of SSDR of HDP in a marine environment, linear extrapolation results in an estimated half-life of 58 years. Battles to 1,200 years pipes by Ali Kamas 2020. So, recyclable HDPE plastics. In a study of Isabel N. Contreras 2018, states that the polyethylene accounts for the largest proportion of plastic produced worldwide and can be recycled indefinitely. Methods include melting in an oven, toasted with compression clamps, melting in vegetable oil with compression clamps, and melting in an improved convection oven using a jack for compression. The results show that if individual processes are further improved, each method may produce high-quality recycled plastic materials due to different production skills and resource availability. Bibi Tan Soraya Murat in 2020 reveals that recycled HDPE's mechanical properties are closer to their original materials, therefore, it having the huge potential for plastic recycling. In general, recycled HDPE sample has better tensile properties, impact strength, water resistance than those of recycled LDPE. Using the non-destructive ultrasound method, HDPE samples obtain higher wave velocities and lower attenuation. In summary, the recycled HDPE and LDPE sample characterization performed in this study shows the recyclability potential and household applications. Consequently, by recycling plastic waste, water, land, and air pollution can be reduced, which can bring benefits to everyone for a greener, sustainable future. So, HD plastic qualities. ESG World BV is a company based in the Netherlands that has conducted a test showing that HDPE can be recycled at least 10 times. With a density of 0.95, HDPE has a very high density compared to other polymers. HDPE is a relatively tough, impact-resistant plastic that can withstand temperatures up to 120 degrees Celsius. HDPE is also resistant to many chemicals. HDPE offers a number of advantages that make it useful in the manufacture of a wide variety of products. As such, HDPE has raw materials available for long-term production from the same plastic guaranteed for 100 to 200 years, according to Thomson 2012. So to continue this HDPE plastic qualities, we are calling Jane Alrit for the continuation.
Study of Vivek 2017 describes a comparison of the inclusion. A recycled high-density polyethylene or HDPE in strips and filaments with clay at different weight percentages, respectively. A significant improvement in strength is observed due to the inclusion of HDPE tape and fibers. In a research by Inga Bayer, Bomeniuk, 2018, the researchers concluded that manufacturing and using pavements of HDPE plastic not only reduces construction costs, especially for repairs, but also helps protect the environment. They determined the melting point and subsequent effect of temperature on high-density polyethylene or HDPE, which is 259 to 267 degrees Fahrenheit. Environment sustainability in recycling HDPE plastics. According to Kennedy, HDPE plastic are widely accepted in recycling centers because recycling these materials can reduce the cost of products made from these plastics. Recycling plastic is much cheaper than creating it from scratch. Recycling type 2 plastic also has the same effect of lowering the cost of the products packaged in these plastics. Recycling is also important as HDPE is used in the development of new products. Recycling HDPE benefits. HDPE recycling removes HDPE plastic from the waste stream, reducing disposal costs. It provides a way to generate revenue from HDPE plastic isolated from the waste stream, carried to landfill. Recycling can reduce labor costs for waste disposal, necessary for disposal of waste for landfills. And recycling helps streamline also waste disposal operation, and also it can contribute to workplace safety and cleanliness. Recycled buttons. Scott developed buttons out of recycled plastics. The plastic of each Ocean Works button is harvested by locals, such as Haiti and Mexico, who receive a living wage of their efforts. This not only prevents plastic waste from entering the sea, but also fights extreme poverty. For the for the people of Port-au-Prince in Haiti who are struggling to recover from the 2010 catastrophic earthquake, the chances of making money by cleaning plastic that clog their neighborhood and water supply are double wins.
Wala to nang dungog, no? Sige, go, balik. For the summary of this presentation, this study will benefit the following: students, school, community, garments industry, recycling advocates, and other researchers. This study will have 50 respondents that are working in the garments shop within Cebu City. The researchers have presented the definition of terms and review of related literature. So here are our references: the student's profile, group meeting, and that's it for our presentation. Thank you for watching.